children, welcome back again to online learning platform of Sri Baspa Public School, Ilkal. So today we are going to begin the next unit, Unit 2, Flora and Fauna. So before we begin the first chapter from this, let's discuss what do you mean by Flora and Fauna. Flora means study of plant life present in a particular region or time. In flora, we are going to study about the only plant's life. But in fauna, it means study of all animal life present in a particular region or time. So in fauna, we are going to study about only animal life. So in flora and fauna, we are going to study about the different kinds of plants and animals related to their environment. So let's begin the first chapter from this, and that is parts of a plant. A tall eucalyptus tree, a thorny cactus, and even a tiny periwinkle may look totally different from each other, but all are called as plants. There are different kinds of plants, but they all are called as plants. Almost every plant has roots, stem, then leaves, then fruits, flowers. So these are all the parts of a plant, and each part help the plant to grow or make new plants. They all have their own work, own job which help in the growth of the plants. So children, now let's study about the parts of a plant, and the first part is roots. Children, have you ever wondered that why can't you take your plant for a walk? That is because the plants have roots which have spread out over the soil and also hold the ground firmly. They hold the soil ground tightly. And plants don't have to search for the food. They spend their entire life by staying at one place. They no need to search. They don't need to move from one place to another place in search of their food. Only they spread their root. They will spread under the ground, and we move towards the nearby water and collected the water for their preparation of the food. Mostly all roots grow under the ground, but some roots are there, they grow above the ground too. These roots absorb water and minerals from the soil, which they are carried to the leafy shoots, which is then carried to the other parts of the plants. The banyan tree is growing on a rocky ground. Its roots have spread over the surface as they can't grow through the rocks. As they can't grow through the rocks, that's why the roots of a banyan tree is spread out over the rocky surface. Over the rocks of this, the root have spread out. Some thorny cacti grow deep roots. They have very deep roots that they can move under the ground and they get the underground water. Because they survive in a dry desert to search of water, they have very deep root. All roots have root hairs. Root hairs are the tiny hairs which grow from the main root. These roots make the surface area of the root bigger so that the plant take in much water as much as possible. So they will help the plant and the root to absorb more water. Roots also have some parts, and that is main root. So main root is a main part of the root through which the sub part is again grown, and the branches are known as lateral root. The next, after lateral root, there are small tiny hairs of that root are called as root hairs. The last is region of growth through which the root grows. As we all have already studied in your previous classes that there are mainly two types of roots, and that is taproot and fibrous root. Examples for the taproot are rose, shoe flower, neem, and mango tree. These all plants have tap roots. These are all examples for the tap root. Remember it, children. The hibiscus flower is commonly known in Asia as shoe flower. Why we are calling these flowers as a shoe flower? There is a reason, because it is used to polish the shoes. Because in olden days people were using these flowers to polish their shoes. So if you wanted to check it, use this flower to polish your shoes, then you will get nice shiny shoes. So all taproot has main root. All taproot should have one main root and smaller roots which comes from the main root. So this is the thing you have to remember for the taproot. Taproot has main root and smaller roots which has come from the main root. Examples for the fibrous root are grass, rice, sugarcane, wheat and sunflower. All these plants have fibrous root. They have fibrous root. These are all examples for the fibrous root. In the fibrous root, there is no main root. Can you see any main root here? No, there is no main root here. And also, their roots do not grow deep under the ground. They are like a network like structure and thin roots which spread out throughout the upper layer of the soil. They do not grow deep the soil. They will spread out only upper layer of the soil. Except these two roots, we have other three kinds of roots too. So let's have a look at the other kinds of roots. And for that, examples are carrot, radish, parsnip and turnip. These roots used to store food in them. These are the roots which helps to store food in them. That's why their shapes will become fat, so that they have very fleshy roots. So that these kinds of roots are known as storage roots. The reason is that they stores food in them. And this is known as parsnip. It has the characteristics same as a radish. It looks like a radish, but this is known as parsnip. And this is called as turnip. Did you know, children, a lot of sugar comes from the swollen roots of the beetroot plant. So sugar is a food of the plant which is stored in the root. That's why these roots are known as storage roots. Clear, children? Next type is aerial roots. An example for the aerial roots is banyan tree. The banyan tree has roots which grow down from its branches. They grow down from the branches, and that's why we call them as aerial roots, because they stay in the air. That's why we call them as aerial roots. Example is banyan tree. And the last type of root is breathing roots. Examples for this kind of roots are the mangrove trees, which grow near coastal swamps and marshy land, have breathing roots. So the place near any coastal area, we will have these mangrove trees. These roots grow upward from the soil and also help the plant to breathe. The soil in swamps is totally waterlogged and there is no air for the soil, no air for the roots to breathe. Hence, the roots will move upward and helps the plants to breathe. That's why we call these types of roots as breathing roots. So these will breathe and helps the plants. That's why we are call them as breathing roots. Examples are mangrove trees. In the rainforest, some plants grow on the branches of the trees. Some plants will grow on the branches, and their roots do not grow under the ground. Their roots do not grow into the ground. Hence, such kinds of plants are known as epiphytes. What we call epiphytes, as they grow on the stems of other plants or branches of other plants. We call them as epiphytes. Potted plants have lots of smaller roots that they are entangled, and when the roots have no more space to grow in the pot, then the leaves started to yellowing. Because they are not having a proper space to grow in a pot. Then remember, children, that time there is a time to repot the plant to the another bigger pot. If the leaves of the plant is started to yellow, means they are not getting the proper space to grow, so that we have to repot into another larger pot for its growth. Alright children, now let's study about the next part of a plant, and that is stem. In a plant, the roots, leaves, fruits and flowers are joined together by a stem. They all are joined together too by a stem. Hence, they all are attached to the stem. Is it, children? So, plant stems usually grow thicker as plant grow taller. The thickness of the plant will be thicker as it grow taller. Food and water travel up and down through the stem to reach all the parts of a plant. So, stem is like a pipeline to transfer food and water to the other parts of the plant. Then, the stem usually pushes upward towards the sunlight, towards the light, and it holds the leaves out to catch the sunlight. To prepare their food, they need sunlight. So that the stem pushes the leaves towards the sunlight so that they can catch the sunlight as much as possible. The way the leaves and flowers are exposed to the sunlight and sun, insects are very important. Here, sun and insects are very important. If you observe the stems of a plant, then you will have the different shapes and size of a plant. Is it, children? Most of the plants have round shaped stems, but some stems are square or ridge shape. Even some are thin and some have thick. Children, have you ever noticed the stem of a sunflower? If you observe it, then you will have small tiny hair on its stem. So it has hairy stem because the insects don't like to sit on hairy stem, so that the sunflower prevent itself by sitting any kind of insects. Those will come and attack on any crop or plant. So the sunflower prevent themselves by any kind of insects. A tree stem is known as trunk. It is called as trunk. The size of plant stem depends on how many leaves and branches the plant has to support. A tall plants need more support, so it has thicker stem. It has very thick stem. Plants are classified into 5 categories. Is it, children? First is tree and the next is shrubs, herbs, creepers and climbers. So these are the types of plants. And some plants like pea plant produce tendrils which wrap themselves around the other stems. They wrap themselves around themselves. These are known as tendrils in a pea plants. Each stem is made up of number of units joined end to end. A stem unit consists of a straight piece of stem that is known as internode. These are called as internodes. Then internodes join together at swollen areas, and that area is called as nodes. Leaves and buds are attached at the nodes. The leaves and buds are attached at the place of node. If a bud starts growing, then it can form a side branch or a flowering branch. From the node side, it forms next side branch or flowering branch. A stem also has axillary buds. These are known as axillary buds, which grow in an angle between the branches and the leaves or a main stem. These are known as axillary buds which grow between the branches or a stem. Observe this picture carefully. If you observe this picture, you will come to know that this stem has scars on it. Scars means marks on it. And this is because when leaves fall, they leave a scar on a bark. The distance between two gradal scars shows how much twig has grown in 1 year. But by counting the distance between two scars, we may come to know the year to be grown. So this is indicate the growth of a plant. Okay students, today we will stop here, and in the next session we may complete the remaining part. Take down the homework. How many types of roots are there? Name them. There are 2 types of roots. Name those roots. Examples for taproot, examples for fibrous root. What are storage roots? Example for storage you write down, and definition of storage root. Examples for storage root. What are aerial roots? Examples for aerial root. What are breathing roots? Examples for breathing roots. And also name any 4 edible stems that grow underground. Okay, and classify the plants on the basis of their stem. Give examples for each type. There are 5 main types of plants, right? There are 5 types of plants. Name them. Okay, write it in your EVS homework book.